Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. On this Monday, the last Monday of the month of June already, the 28th, 2021. We're looking at EarthCam Live here from the New York skyline cam over the Hudson River. And it is a beautiful morning, but it's also hazy over the skyline of New York City this morning, too, with some alto cumulus clouds dotting the sky this morning. Well, we're in the middle of our second heat wave of the summer season 2021, and I have to tell you that it's going to be broken with flash flooding thunderstorms on Thursday, and 4th of July weekend right now is looking a lot better and much more comfortable than it did just a couple of days ago. We'll get into the forecast right now. As we normally do, start out with Rutgers Weather Network here, the Rutgers University Meteorology Program here in New Brunswick, where at 8:38 this morning it's already up to 80 degrees. Didn't fall off too shy from that this morning either. Winds are southwest at about 4, gusting to 9, so there's a little bit of a breeze in the air. It's already up to 83 in Point Pleasant, 82 in Cape May Courthouse, 81 at Sicklerville, South Harrison, and Seagirt. Cool spots, if you want to call it that, are 73 in Vernon, also in High Point Monument, 74 in Parsippany, 75 Atlantic City Marina, and Hackettstown, New Jersey. Other temperatures around the region this morning ranging generally in the mid and upper 70s to lower 80s right along the coast here too. We didn't really fall off that much this morning either. I'm supposing that temperatures here were in the upper 60s to low and mid-70s across the region, but it's going to get hot. It is going to get hot, and I'm going to step out of this for a second. Here is our current surface image. All the winds are out of the southwest around Bermuda High, which is right on top of us actually this morning, and that's providing for a few clouds, but mostly sunny skies outside of the cloud cover, and temperatures rising dramatically already this morning. If we took a look at the decoded observations here, well, the temperatures again in the mid and upper 70s, a few spots already 80 and moving upward. Dew points are very uncomfortable. This is a very tropical air mass in place with dew points in the low to the mid 70s right now. That's probably going to mix out a little bit this afternoon. And the winds are out of the southwest at about 10 miles an hour or less, in some stations nearly calm. And right along the coast here, we're having a few gusts here at about 13. That's freshening up the air just a little bit, mixing up the air a little bit too. High pressure is in control. And basically some alto cumulus clouds at about 12,000 feet in most spots. And there is quite a bit of haze in the atmosphere this morning as well. And of course, we've got heat advisories just about everywhere here in the I-95 corridor, from Wilmington all the way up into Connecticut. Heat advisories are in effect for the entire area until 8 o'clock on Wednesday. So that means we're going to see heat index values ranging between 100 and 104 degrees across most of these regions. So you're going to need plenty of liquid, non-alcoholic variety, of course. Let's skip on back out of here. Take a look at your weekly timeline here. This is going to be a very interesting week ahead. First of all, today, mostly sunny and isolated thunderstorm to the north and west. That would be on the western flank of the ridge, if it occurred at all, especially if you get a convective temperature that's reached at about 95. That's possible. Tonight, partly cloudy, a scattered thunderstorm, especially northwest. Everybody else just dry, mid-90s. Okay, that's going to be for tonight. More showers and storms likely on Friday, Thursday and Friday here. Temperatures are going to be in the lower 80s. It's going to be very humid. And as we head into the week ahead, things are looking better. And already at 8:43 this morning, or 8:35, you can see the heat index values already increasing into the 80s. It's just going to pop. Morning national surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software. High pressure ridge right over us, on top of us now, southwesterly flow. This cold front is going to be very slow to move in. And by the time it does, Thursday, waves of rainfall are going to be associated with it, causing flash flooding in our region. So have to change the air mass around before we get into a better situation for the 4th of July weekend. And national hazards this morning, obviously, is all of the heat across New England down to the I-95 Philadelphia corridor here, where we're going to be baking for the next couple of days. Flash flooding from ongoing thunderstorms and showers along that nearly stationary front here across Indiana and Illinois and down through portions of the Midwest here, and also across portions of New Mexico and parts of Texas. And of course, the big heat and the drought conditions continue in the West. Over the last 24 hours, very little, maybe 1/100th of an inch of precipitation occurred in the New Jersey, New York City area, but up here in Connecticut, we had some powerful down thunderstorms here. Look at this, 5 inches of rainfall under high precipitable border values, better than 2 inches. So tropical air mass in place, and this is a lot of rain. I'm sure it caused some flash flooding. We'll take a look. We'll get into the Storm Prediction Center in just a moment. We want to take a look at the Atlantic here in the Atlantic tropical cyclones. We have this disturbance right now, which is off the North Carolina coast and Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico here. It's a low pressure system located about 190 miles southeast of Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms, mainly west of the center. However, any additional increase in organization of the thunderstorm activity would result in the issuance of advisories for a tropical depression or tropical storm later this morning or afternoon, but so far they haven't bitten on this yet. And it's got a 70% chance of developing in the formation chances of a tropical storm within the next 48 hours and 70% chance in the next 5 days. Of course, it's probably going to, see if we can zoom in on this here. Yeah. And I think we can do it better if we get into current storms. 1 second. Here's a much better look at this wave coming in now. You can see the blow up of convection over the top of it as it approaches the Georgia, South Carolina coast. Stop this and move this forward here all the way into the end. You can see this is going to come on shore very close to, if not being named something. And there is quite a bit of rainfall with this system as well. Showers and thunderstorms approaching and already entering the outer banks here of the South Carolina coast and also portions of the Georgia coast as well. A leftover convection here in southern Florida and the Gulf Coast regions, and of course along our cold front here in the southern plains. Regional low-level water vapor channel, very interesting to see how the high-pressure ridge is very much in control of our area. Bay breeze, sea breeze fronts, any kind of mesoscale lifting here would produce a shower or a thunderstorm, but right now the atmosphere is pretty dry. Let's take a look at the composite radar here, and there's nothing going on, and there have been a few showers to the west yesterday along the western edge of the ridge axis, but maybe a pop-up here and there, but nothing really here in the New Jersey, New York City area under a confluent downsloping flow. This disturbance here is showing up nicely on the mesoscale analysis from the Storm Prediction Center's RAP model. Here's the high pressure over us. So this storm has to move in to the Carolinas at this point. There's just no way of evacuation at this time. In fact, the mesoscale model over the next 6 hours keeps this just offshore, but probably it has to land somewhere in here in the South Carolina, Georgia coastline. Wanted to take a look at the precipitable water values. This is a very tropical air mass across the eastern United States, all the way from the Central Plains, all the way to the East Coast. Very dry air here with our drought conditions over the Intermountain West and Desert Southwest too. Let's see if we change the sector here and get back into the Northeast. This is an incredible amount of water vapor. It's a very tropical air mass in place. 850, 700 millibar analysis. Again, The moisture here today, again, going to be associated along and ahead of that cold front that will not be moving anywhere anytime soon. Back into the National Weather Service's digital database here. These are the high temperatures in the urban corridors today in the 90s, but the real feels will probably be over 100. So it's going to be very hard to breathe outside. Tomorrow it's the peak of the heat wave here. Temperatures are in the 90s again, upper 90s, possibly even 100 in a spot or two. I wouldn't be surprised if that occurs. Not sure if these are records or not, but Wednesday again in the 90s. Inland corridor here, I-95 corridor, cooler right along the beaches, obviously. Things begin to really cool off, but it's steamy. It's a steam bath on Thursday with heavy rain, showers, and thunderstorms. We'll get into that in just a moment. Temperatures sliding downward now, and then you get into your July weekend here. We're starting it out on Thursday, July 1st. People are getting away. This day does not look good on Thursday or Thursday night. If you're planning on getting away, well, that would be on Friday as the sky is clear and a lingering shower or two gets off the coast. Temperatures dropping down into the upper 70s, mid 70s to the north and west, and it's looking really good here on Saturday. Temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80, and again, on the 4th of July, Star Spangled Banner, temperatures in the 80s and fireworks. Wanted to take a look at the temperature anomalies because this is incredible. 11, 12 degrees above normal. Tomorrow, 12, 13 degrees above normal. Our apex here on Wednesday, again, 12 to 13 degrees above normal, especially over the interior sections. And then we drop down to near to below normal by the time we get into Friday, just as we're heading into a big holiday weekend. Temperatures anomalies for Saturday about 5, 7, 8 degrees below normal across the north here, and that should continue on the 4th of July as well. Very pleasant weather coming up for your holiday weekend. Taking a look at the HRR reflectivity model guidance and our mesoscale here, we're really dry for the most part until we head into about Tuesday afternoon. There could be a few pop-up storms here across the northwest around Mount Pocono, northwestern New Jersey. Again, these would be fleeting, but they could be some heavy dollywhoppers and downpours because of the amount of tropical air and water vapor that's in the column. We'll skip out of this and do the temperature. Let's do that. Now, any shower or thunderstorm activity that does occur before Wednesday morning here, mainly on Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, could be producing in several areas, and just localized areas here, about 1/2 of an inch to nearly an inch in spots. Again, isolated is the word. Any one of these showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday with the heavy rain, again, to the north of the region, could be producing some lightning as well in them. And looking at the NAM model guidance's water vapor channel here, look, any kind of lifting as a mesoscale or sea breeze front or any kind of mechanism to lift the air would produce a shower or thunderstorm. But with water vapor that's like this, it's a tropical air mass pushing over 2 inches in spots through today, and a little bit less right along the coast. But we're not really expecting anything to happen today. But as we head into Tuesday, any kind of shower or thunderstorm activity that does develop will have precipitable water values better than 2 inches. So that means heavy downpours and localized flash flooding in any of these slow-moving pop-up thunderstorms. And by the time we get this, will take us into Wednesday. It's still a very tropical air mass here with very high water vapor content. Focus is on the heat, and by today, this afternoon, it's going to feel like it's 100 or 103 degrees in spots, even to the coast. No relief. That waxes and wanes as the evening and the sun settles, and we get back into Tuesday. We're starting out in the 90s again with the heat indexes early right around sunrise or just slightly after sunrise by a couple of hours, and we're going back into the 102, 103 mark again around northeastern New Jersey, the I-95 Philadelphia corridor. And we're not done with that yet, because then we get into Wednesday and the heat just builds once again. And we're talking about the third or fourth day now of this heat wave with heat indices above 104 to 105 degrees. Ouch. Severe weather storm browser here. Here is our what could be named a storm before it reaches the South Carolina or Georgia coast, if the National Hurricane Center indeed to decide to do this before this afternoon or not. We don't know, but there's a lot of convection over the top of this. And it's also bringing in some showers and thunderstorms across Georgia right now. Most of the lightning strikes over the top of the center here. And of course in the Gulf, plenty of moisture here, lots of shower and thunderstorm activity going on. And live lightning strikes as well down in the Bahamas and down into southern Florida here. Near Key West especially, and in the Gulf Coast regions and just off the coast of Mexico here. Flash flood watches and advisories here in portions of the Texas Panhandle area. Yeah, and of course across Kansas City, Missouri, up to Illinois and Chicago, along that stalled out front that is slowly going to sink south and change our atmosphere around. If you wanted to see temperatures this morning, well, they're quite warm and they're moving on up. Yeah, indeed. It's early here yet, but don't worry, that heat's coming. Nationally, we're dealing with temperatures in the East Coast here all the way into the 80s, 90s, and hundreds out west. That's not really going to change that much on Tuesday. It's only going to get worse. Wednesday, it's hot. Coast to coast. I mean, we're talking about 110, 113 here in the West Coast here. Hello. During a drought, a major drought is ongoing. Finally, things are going to get broken down here as showers and thunderstorms train over the area here in the eastern United States. And that isn't going to change the forecast too much from the central Appalachians all the way down to the Gulf Coast and Florida regions. And the heat just continues to expand across the Intermountain West and the West Coast. In fact, over the next 7 days, there is no relief here from this drought and heat. No. And for the rest of the forecast, I'm going to be using the European model guidance. We'll start off with the precipitable water values here, which are incredibly tropical. And the main concern here for me is going to be during the day on Thursday. There's going to be a lot of water vapor in the air. We could be approaching 2.15 to 2.3 inches of liquid equivalent here of water vapor gas in the air. And you see that big drying trend here as we head into Friday and into the weekend. That looks good. You know, this looks relatively good. We start to creep up with the precipitable water values again on Monday, Sunday night and Monday. But overall, this holiday weekend looks to be a big change from what was just 24 or 36 hours ago in the forecast. And right now, let us get into the precipitation forecast here going forward. There's really nothing going on here. Until you get into Wednesday, there could be, again, a few showers and thunderstorms around. The main concern here is going to be with that slow-moving cold front that comes in during the day on Thursday and Thursday night. And it's going to produce some very copious amounts of rainfall because the storms will be tugging on the front and training along the same location. So, you know, we could be dealing with precipitable water values that are, you know, so high that, you know, we're dealing with training thunderstorms and then lots of precipitation. Let's take a look at what the model guidance, the European model guidance, wants to do with this totals of precipitation here. As we get into Thursday night and Friday, you can see precipitation totals well over 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I wouldn't be surprised if flash flood watches and warnings are issued under these conditions. just about anywhere. Where the thunderstorms train over, there's going to be copious amounts of water coming down. Lightning strikes are also very highly likely in density because of the amount of water vapor and the amount of lifting vertically in the atmosphere at this time. So watch out. And finally today there is the boat and beach forecast with rip current risk high along all of the ocean fronts here from New York out to the east end of Long Island, and a moderate risk here in the state of New Jersey. We'll take a look at some of these forecasts right now. We'll start off at Sandy Hook, where it's going to be mostly sunny today. Where it is right now at 83 is going to be the high. Water temperature is now around 70, so it's getting really tropical out there. UVI index is very high, between 10 and 4, so you're going to need sunscreen. Yeah. Tomorrow looks good too, just a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m. Sunny with a high near 86 tomorrow, so, this looks good. Thursday is a washout. That is a washout. Wednesday, that's not looking so good either. And basically anywhere you go here, the forecast is going to be about the same. Manasquan, Point Pleasant, Asbury Park, same kind of thing. Water temperatures around 70, UVI index very high, rip current risk is moderate, life-threatening rip currents are possible. Always swim near a lifeguard and remember to heed the advice of local beach patrol and flag warning systems. And for the Nassau beaches this afternoon, obviously it's going to be mostly sunny, a high near 77. High rip current risk. The surf zone is dangerous at all levels of swimmers. Stay out of the water. Remember to heed the advice of local beach patrol and flag warning systems. Probably not going to be swimming there anywhere on Long Island beaches this afternoon, and that's why everybody comes to New Jersey beaches instead. The UVI index is very high, so sunburning is going to occur very quickly if you're not protected. Water temperatures are in the mid-60s. That's a big change here because the water temperatures in New Jersey are up to about 70. That's why everybody here goes here in New Jersey. So that's going to do it for this morning's broadcast. We'll be back in video form later this afternoon and this evening. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. You have a pleasant Monday, excuse me.